Good evening, and thank you for watching our video on why, how, and when you should relocate your company to a new state. When thinking about relocation, it is very important to outweigh the decision along with the benefits of how it's going to help your company. The first part that we're going to talk about is why you should relocate.
For a company to decide to relocate their headquarters, the benefits must definitely outweigh the cost. There are several benefits to relocating Carter Blood Care from Texas to Portland, Oregon. The first benefit I'm going to discuss is the fast-growing population. About 65% of that population is between the ages of 19 and 64, which makes them age-appropriate blood donors. Also, when you compare Oregon to Texas, there's a lower percentage of employees without health care. That leads us to believe that most of our donors will live a healthier lifestyle. Also, Nike and Columbia Sportswear have their headquarters in Oregon, which also lead us to believe that our donors will be more active and also have a healthier lifestyle. On a different note, the July high temperature in Oregon is 79 degrees, with the January low temperature being 37. This makes the summer events and winter events much easier on our donors and also much more enjoyable. The last benefit I'm going to mention is the fact that Oregon is one of the only 5 states in the nation that levies no sales or use tax. As I have said, we believe that the benefits of moving Carter Blood Care from Texas to Portland, Oregon definitely outweigh the costs.
How would your company not want to relocate? One downside to relocation is that there would be a change in union membership. Texas is a right-to-work state and does not offer union services. Portland, however, is home to the 10th largest union company relationship. This would require some changes being made in administrative actions and duties, as well as fees paid and most likely more taxes. Another very small downside to relocating would be that Portland is a bit more expensive to live in than Bedford, Texas. However, Portland also has a much lower percentage of inflation than Texas does. Portland's inflation is about 1.1%, whereas the inflation in Texas is about 2%. Unemployment in Portland is also lower than Texas, and both are lower than the national average. Growth is all about expansion and trying new things. During the Great Depression, Coca-Cola was the only company that put every single dollar they had into advertising. Every other company was scared of the risk that was presenting itself. Companies like Pepsi, Fanta, and other soda companies didn't want to take the risk of advertising when they knew that their money was a very sacred asset to have at that time. Coca-Cola took the risk needed and jumped in feet first with everything they had. So let me ask you a question. Have you ever met anyone in your whole life who doesn't know what Coca-Cola is? Now, moving to Portland wouldn't be as much of a risk as spending all of your money during the Great Depression, but it shows that when you take big risks, you get big returns. So let's be the life-saving Coca-Cola of the medical industry and make this move to better our organization and save more lives. Now that you know why you should move your company, we're going to talk a little bit about how to start the transition and what exactly to do to get the process started.
Next, we need recommendations to ease the transition of relocating all the employees. The best way is to break the news by department. You need to train your managers on the details of the move so they can inform and direct their reports and answer questions for the lower employees. And the key is to start communicating early. You don't want to wait long for the employees to find out about the move. They need time to figure out, schools for their children, what their spouses are going to do.
This is definitely not a decision that you want to spring on anyone at any time. You should give your employees enough time to find another job if they decide that they are not going to relocate with the company. You are also going to want to have good time to find good candidates in Portland that you feel would do a good job and be able to grow with the company. Overall, everybody will need a lot of time and also a lot of information as to why we are relocating, such as the ins and outs of the relocation. It is definitely something that you should keep in constant communication with your employees about. the ones that are relocating and the ones that decide not to relocate with the company. It is important to keep a good rapport with the employees that decide not to relocate. Since we are keeping the Texas facilities open and only moving the headquarters to Portland, they could be possible candidates for jobs in the other Texas facilities. You want to make sure that you communicate with your employees also how wonderful the statistics are in Portland. The employees that are going to be relocating with you, it is important to reassure them that their family is going to be happy there, that they're going to be happy there, they're going to love the move, and they're going to live a happy life. You just want to make sure that everybody's happy. If they're taking the step out to relocate and move with your company and really be a big part of your company, you want to make sure that they're happy, they're going to be happy, and that they know that. Lastly, we need to talk about when is the best time to move your company and why.
When would be a good time for Carter Blood Care to make this move? Well, there are a couple of things that we have to look at. Number one, the thing that I believe would be most important for us to look at first is our slow season. So slow seasons for blood donations typically tend to be in the summer or during holiday times. And the more predictable slow season is typically during holiday times. And so planning a move that initiates around the beginning of Q4 would probably be optimal for this company. And that would involve getting the company ready to initiate the move by this point. So we would have to do several months prior planning and getting the site ready and getting our materials ready as well to get ready for the move. So initial planning should probably begin as early as I would say April or May of whatever year that we decide to move in. That way the plan can be solidified by August or September, and it can be pushed into action by October. As far as how long will this operation take, even though this is a basically a cross-country move, I can't imagine it taking too much longer than a year and a half tops. In the event that we begin in October of, say for example, 2017, there's no reason that a move of this size should take any longer than a year and a half, and have us finished by October 2018 or mid-year 2019. Because this is only a headquarters move, and so there's not a whole lot in a headquarters move. We of course we have to hustle some equipment around, and we have to move some people around, but at the end of the day, this is a relatively quick operation. A company like Carter Blood Care should be able to finish this in a year to a year and a half's time.
We hope that you had some really good information about why, how, and when you should move your company. And we look forward to helping you in the future and seeing you in Portland, Oregon.